violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. And let's get into the video. Guys, so I wanted to do another local story. We got these homeless dudes. They definitely on the loose in Athens. No cap. But, you know, honestly, from my experience, they ain't really been on demon time like that. It looks like this guy got into a scuffle with an officer. But we're going to check it out. He looks like he's on one, definitely. He looked like, you know, he has some types of mental illness, obviously. But his name is Charles Romando Murray. So, yeah, I mean, looks like Buddy is on demon time. But anyways, they say a homeless man reportedly was arrested early Saturday after he assaulted an officer in downtown Athens and damaged City Hall. According to an Athens Clark County Police report, officers who were finishing their shift were lined up to enter the College Avenue Police substation at about midnight when 29-year-old Charles Romando Murray cut through the line and began striking an officer in the back and screaming at him. When the officer pushed away, Murray, the man, assumed a fighting stance with his hands clenched as though he was going to hit the officer again, according to the report. Wow. And the officer didn't shoot him or do anything, like, you know what I mean? At which time another officer grabbed Murray and pulled him to the ground, where he continued attempts to strike multiple officers and resisted being handcuffed while cursing and screaming incoherently. So these are the situations that lead to a lot of these officer involved shootings. Obviously this dude is on one. And he got the fighting with an officer, you know, he got the scrapping with an officer, and they took him down, but he's cursing and screaming incoherently. Like, if there was a person who was on that defund the police, like, woke time, if they walk by an incident like that, they're going to obviously be pulling out their phones and, oh, making a big deal. Why you doing that, man, like that? Da, 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 da. You know what I'm saying? When he's obviously in the wrong. After officers noticed that Murray had multiple lacerations to his forearm, they traced a blood trail from the substation to exterior doors at City Hall on the Hancock Avenue side of the building. The report noted both of the doors had large glass windows that had been busted in by Mr. Murray. So wow, this man busted in the City Hall windows, punching through them, and blood was located on the glass of the remaining portions of the window as well. An officer wrote in the report, police said that after being transported to the hospital for treatment of his injuries, he was booked into the county jail on charges of second-degree burglary, interference with government property, second-degree criminal damage to property, simple battery of a police officer, and obstruction of law enforcement. He was being held without bond as of Tuesday afternoon. So, dang. I mean, imagine if he would have ran into, like, a regular person, what that would have meant for, yeah, I mean, what that would have meant for them.
I was coming from choir rehearsal.
Just seconds after she parked her car outside her apartment near Natural Bridge in Goodfellow Monday night, this 37-year-old woman couldn't believe what happened in a flash.
The two young men were passing me, and I seen a young man. He looked back at me, so kind of put me on alert.
She says a boy, police tell us, is just 13, first asked to use her cell phone. He was with an older teen, about 16 years old.
Wow. So a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old run up on this lady. You know, she got her micros in. She looking, you know, how she looking. She got auntie vibes, mad auntie vibes. But these young dudes run up on this woman, and they're on demon time. They trying to, you know, hit a lick.
The young man said, "So you don't have a phone?" I said, no, I don't. And he put out his gun and he said, well, give me your keys.
The woman says the 13-year-old took off with her keys and kept trying to start her car. She says that boy kept his hand wrapped in a piece of clothing as if he had a gun, but never revealed one.
And my mind frame was to keep the other gentleman calm, so therefore, you know, he wouldn't shoot. It was pretty frightening.
It was pretty frightening. Like, a lot of these sisters will go hard and go in and spaz on random people for the smallest microaggressions, like what they call them, the smallest things. But when these young brothers run up on her with the strap, she talking about something. It was pretty frightening. Like, what? We need that. This is where the angry black woman stereotype should be in full effect. This is when we need it. For real.
Despite her fears.
And as he was walking down the steps, he was walking backwards with the gun towards me, and that's when I fired.
She pulled her gun out of her little black purse and fired multiple times as the teens took off.
So she had her strap on her and she pulled it out. Wow. This is St. Louis, y'all.
6 rounds and I let the clip loose, so yeah, all 6. In fear of my life.
She shot the 13-year-old in his leg. Police found the wounded teen a block over on Hebert Street.
It's very upsetting because it's a tangible thing. If it's a car, my life can never be replaced.
We can begin to turn this ship around.
So she shot the 13-year-old boy. 13. 16-year-old and 13. It's crazy.
The Urban League's James Clark says youth violence remains an ongoing problem in St. Louis.
The solutions start in the neighborhood, on the front porch, and in the living room.
But I am very grateful to be alive.
Police holding a news conference on the search for that missing UA student.
Garrett Walker has been missing since Sunday morning. Officers are there giving us an update, so let's listen in.
Okay. We wanted to let y'all know we have positively identified the victim. He was recovered by divers roughly an hour or so ago. Family has been notified. We've also notified the students. So we're not going to take any questions at this time because this is an ongoing investigation.
Wow. So University of Alabama student was found in the lake. It looks like it ain't looking good.
Thank you.
They ain't answering no questions.
Chief. No, thank you, sir. No problem.
Well, that was a very brief news conference, just confirming the news that Kelvin was telling us about earlier. They have found the body of the missing University of Alabama student, Garrett Walker.
This is not the ending that anyone hoped for.
So, guys, we'll do an update on this one. I just wanted to make you guys aware. I don't think they're gonna show a picture of him, but I'll try and put a picture of him on the screen. It's a white kid. I don't know if they have any suspects, but we'll be on this one, and we'll just take notes.
Everyone hoping that he would be found alive and well. His parents getting that news there on the scene. We heard that from our Kelvin Reynolds, and our condolences certainly go out to that family. Again, the body of Garrett Walker has been found, the missing UA student. We'll keep you updated as we get more details.
Scary night for a Sherman Oaks man after he was followed home and shot at during an attempted robbery. CBS 2's Tina Patel is live in Sherman Oaks. Tina, police are now concerned about the rise in crime in that area.
Well, Suzanne, police say fortunately no one was physically injured in this case, but they say that thieves are getting more brazen and they are worried about the increase in violence. Police are trying to figure out why the owner of this Sherman Oaks home may have been targeted by robbery suspects early this morning. They are worried this may be the latest in what has become a string of follow-home crimes across Los Angeles.
Wow, so they said follow home crimes, and this isn't happening in just Los Angeles. Remember the story that we did about the guy who followed the Indian man home from the casino? I mean, he traveled over 50 miles, I believe. And now this guy is being followed, right, in LA. So this is a little trick that these guys do. They, you shopping at a really nice store or whatever, you buy some stuff, they follow you home and try and rob you on your doorstep.
From our preliminary investigation, just from what we have here, is the suspects followed the victim home to his residence.
It was just after 3 in the morning. The homeowner told police 4 men in a silver Jeep Cherokee pulled up behind him and tried to rob him at gunpoint. He was able to drive away, but the suspects followed him and started shooting at his vehicle near Ventura and Sepulveda. He was not injured, and he was able to flag down a passing CHP officer for help.
Oh, wow. So they tried to rob him and he took off in the whip.
Suspects got away. Police are now looking at the home security footage to see if they can identify the suspects. The home and vehicle involved in the early morning incident are registered to actor and TV host Terrence Jenkins, better known as Terrence J.
Wow, so they try to rob Terrence J. And if y'all don't know who Terrence J is, he was on the new 106 in Park. Terrence J is a good brother, you know what I'm saying? Like he's real. And in this case, bro, they were willing to take Terrence J's life, bro. These dudes is not playing. That would have been a total loss, but I'm glad to see that he's doing okay.
Police would not confirm if he was the victim in this case or if anyone else was involved. We saw a man and woman leaving the home about an hour after the attempted robbery, but they did not want to talk. Neighbors also wouldn't speak on camera, but they tell us there are several celebrities who live in the area, and they're worried about the increase in these follow-home crimes.
Wow. So yeah, man, these guys are starting to target the big money. I'm telling you, they're getting these heist ideas from GTA. I guarantee.
Just Monday, the LAPD put out a safety bulletin on the troubling trend.
People need to be aware of their surroundings, especially leaving nightclubs, restaurants, and what have you. And it seems that the suspects are targeting individuals that either have expensive jewelry, expensive cars, and things of that nature.
Now, police would not say where this homeowner was coming from or where the suspects may have started following him. They are asking anyone who might have information that could help to come forward. Suzanne, we'll send it back to you.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.